Good morning, everybody. That was supposed to fade off. It wasn't supposed to do that. Let's turn that off right there. Hopefully you guys had a great Tuesday. Obviously, today is Wednesday, hump day. Let's see. A lot of stuff going on, guys. I mean, a lot of stuff going on. We're not even going to talk about the El Presidente and and all these things that are happening, just being being beaten to death on every platform there is about all things that are Orange Man bad. But that's not what this stream is about, guys. You guys know I've moved away from that. A couple of admin notes. On the Rumble side, guys, if you are, well, you can't be, but hopefully you guys have come over. There's a problem with Rumble this morning. The live stream was not going out to it. I checked it. There's nothing I could do. It's kind of like once you set it up, it's on. And until you turn it off, and there's no resetting it for a live stream. So unfortunately, hopefully the Rumble guys came over here. If you guys came over from Rumble, make sure you guys let me know in the chat so I know you showed up. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to be pushing some buttons. What is happening? I don't understand what's happening. Something is happening. Let's go to the, what is going on? I don't, something's happening to my computer right now, and I don't understand what is happening. All right, so I know that old Andy Pearson, he was the first guy on Rumble, and there's actually still people in Rumble right now just sitting there like they don't know. And I've sent them a message, but they're not paying attention. So it is what it is. Let's see here. Over here on the YouTube side, Cool Cole, first, West Virginia Pappy. Number 2, you can't even be omnipresent today unless you go over to X. Jordan O'Neill is deterred. And then we got Rose. We got Jamie Johnson. Good morning, my friend. Let's see here. Jamie Johnson, you guys just running your socks. Light Raiders in the house. Catitude, Bradley Collins, Andy Pearson did show up. There you go, my friend. Viking Queen, James Trump, 24 Prince. Ian's in the house. We got here. Hicktown Honey showed up. Got Billy King. And yeah, you guys were just like, you just babbling on about stuff, right? Off today, just chilling with my youngest prepper. Something is going on with this live stream, guys. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to use the features, and they're acting really weird. The youngest prepper today is his 5th birthday, so I let him skip his last day of school, and we're just doing whatever he wants. Nice. Let's see here. So far, it's ice cream for breakfast and some Paw Patrol controls and cuddles. I don't know that it gets any better than that. Let's see here. Jamie says nothing wrong with making some good memories. Let's see. And Catitude is giving high praise. What do we got here? And James says, morning, everyone from Sevierville, Tennessee. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. There we got here. Sounds like TPTB don't want the message getting out today. I don't know what that means, man. I don't know what that means. And let's see here. Laszlo showed up. Good morning, my friend. All right, let's see here. Like I said, there some admin notes, guys. I'm not going to like crazy promote prep stock this morning like I normally do. I just figured I'd do a little show and tell. You know, if you're showing up to prep stop. So, guys, let me see if we got to see if I can make this work. This studio is different. So, can you? I'm gonna hold that there. There we go. Hopefully, if you guys are seeing this on the restream, you will be able to use that code right there to get to her website, Red's Remedies. She's out of Oklahoma, guys, and she is one of the sponsors for Prep Stock. Yesterday, I received a box full of these. What's inside of this? Oh, let's see here. Oh my God. Let's see. She hooked everybody up. She is so fancy and cool. It's not even funny. So this one right here is Immune Tea. And this light is so bright you just can't see. This is what happens when you set up for YouTube and not the real world. This is Immune Tea, guys. Where are we at here? I wish I had my glasses. It's tea. It's tea. Smells pretty good, too. It boosts your immune system. What else is in this tiny little bag here? Oh, my God. Oh, she really went all out. Amy is her real name. And, yep, she got her little card there. We got ourselves a little bit of a, what is this? Where we got here? Oh, oil of oregano. Guys, this stuff is not cheap. This stuff is not cheap. And obviously, these are going to be part of the giveaways. There's a whole buttload of them in this box that she sent us. And we're going to be giving these away during Prep Stock. And so if you don't have your tickets, I don't know what to tell you. Dog and Ball Productions, prepstock.net. Go there now. Get your freaking tickets. And Dog and Ball Productions showed up. Good morning, young lady. I appreciate you. There are 17 people. Guys, go to YouTube. This is not working today. All right, I misspelled all of that. I've got to get this out. This is not working today. Enter. Thank you, West Virginia Pappy, for being omnipresent and letting people know that this is not a joke. And there's now 19 people watching over there. Anyhow, I can only say it so many times. So many times. Also, guys, I've been trying to get the word out to everybody who is part of this. So if you didn't know this, I gave this away to, man, this light is so bright. It's so awful for doing this. I gave this away. This is a Bowfang. Where we got here? This is the Bowfang waterproof UV 9R Pro. Guys, this is the waterproof UV 9R Pro. I gave this away at a drawing last Thursday. If you didn't know this, guys, the Patreons, we have a live Discord call. It's like a live stream, but everybody can talk every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I gave this away, and she's not answering my emails. She's not responding to my emails. So I don't know. I don't know if she doesn't want it, but she has until 7 p.m. Thursday evening Eastern time to Roger up, or I'm going to give it away again. We're just going to have another drawing. If you were on the Discord, you know how it works. If you were a card carrying member of the Patreon, then you were automatically entered. So, and card carrying means, you actually, you're not part of the free Patreon. About half of my Patreon is free, but that's just because they come there to get the good news. Anyway, let's see here. Jordan says, dibs. I'm going to put that on there because, the thing is, guys, sometimes you guys have no idea. Sometimes it's really difficult to give stuff away. Let's see here. What'd you say, Viking Queen? Says, how about you give it to the person who is almost landed on? Yes, I'm tracking with you, Viking Queen. Yeah, Viking, when we were doing it, so we used the wheel of truth, I think it's called, the wheel of something, and it's like one of those things that you spin. It's got everybody's name, but it's electronic, and that's what I use, so they can actually see that I'm not pushing any buttons. I literally just push go, and then it does it all by itself, and it like went right across, should have stopped on Viking Queen, but it did not. It edged right up into this other person. But anyway, so that was some funny stuff. Also, admin note for all of the people who watch this on the watch the restream of this or the recording of these videos, these lives. I've started to, on the YouTube side, put a fast forward timestamp in the description. So all you literally need to do is click that and it goes right to where I'm talking. You don't have to watch 10 minutes of the crowd build up, and then also on the Rumble side, wherever else this thing ends up, you just need to fast forward 10 minutes. It's somewhere between 8 and 10 minutes. This one should be right at 10 minutes. Okay, so let's see here. Looks like people are starting to leave Rumble, but still 13 people are still sitting in Rumble. They must be the ones that are just like listen in the background, or they like the really, no, it's like no music, no sound, no nothing is happening on Rumble. Let me check. Yeah, I mean, refresh. I don't know what is happening over there, but anywho, okay, so basically 10 minutes of jabber about all administrative stuff, which means that I have to, and I really wanted, if you guys remind me later, I really want to read what this card came to me from Red's Redemption, or Red's Redemption. Yeah, right. What do we got here? redsremedies.com. Anyway, so very, very nice, very sweet. Okay, so like the thumbnail says, there needs to be some self-sufficiency skills in your life. Okay. And self-sufficiency is all about not dependent on anybody else. Expanding on self-sufficiency skills involves a broad range of capabilities that enable individuals and families to live independently, especially during emergencies or when resources are scarce. Here's a deeper look into the critical areas of self-sufficiency. So here we go. Number one, homesteading. That's super broad. Homesteading, that's super broad, Jordan. That's super broad. But let me get into this. We're going to take a sip of coffee. Voice is feeling strong today. We'll see how long it lasts. Oh yeah. First and foremost, gardening and food production. Guys, if you cannot live without food, I don't care how tough you think you are. Vegetable gardening, planning and designing, selecting suitable crops based on climate, soil, and available space. These are things to think about. Soil preparation, testing and amending soil for optimal plant growth. That's right. Some plants like acids, some plants don't. High pH, low pH. It's not rocket science, it's just science. Planting techniques, understanding seed starting, direct sowing, and transplanting. Sometimes things don't work out the way you think they're going to. Some plants like to be started. It's that easy. And then obviously companion planting, using plants that benefit each other to maximize yields and deter pests. Okay, where are we at here? Fruit trees and perennials. Tree selection. Choosing fruit trees and perennial plants that thrive in your region. So a lot of people like, I want to plant this. I want to plant a lot of these. And here's why, because I love them and they're great. And then your region just isn't good enough. It just doesn't work. The plants don't work in your area. So it's like you can't grow a banana tree in the desert. It's just not going to happen. Pruning and maintenance techniques for maintaining healthy growth and maximizing fruit production. Pests and disease management, organic methods for protecting plants. Greenhouse and indoor gardening. And guys, as usual, make sure that you put something in the comment about these sections, because I always talk about your comments after I'm done with a section. So the next one is greenhouse and indoor gardening. Setting up a greenhouse, building or buying a greenhouse for year-round gardening. This is one of the biggest things that a lot of preppers do not do. They don't think about extending their garden into late fall, sometimes even winter, depending on the type of greenhouse that they have. Indoor gardening, growing herbs, vegetables, and microgreens indoors. And I'm here to tell you can actually grow full-size plants in your house, as long as you can keep the cats from digging them up. It's a pretty awesome thing. All right, so I'm going to go to the chat here real quick. And Bob says, anyone else having issues with the feed right now, or is it just me? I don't know. Let me YouTube. Let's check and see if there is an issue with this feed. That's Glenn Beck. I'll watch him later. And that is not even what I want to do. YouTube, your channel. This is what happens when one dude is doing five dudes' work. Okay, so it looks like the feed is good. It must have been just you, my friend. Light Raider says 5x5. West Virginia Pappy feels good here. Good. All right. Drinking that coffee. Okay, so next, if we're going to make the food, we got to preserve the food. So the next section is food. Man, I got something caught in my throat. It was weird. It's like it's slowly going down. There we go. Okay, so food preservation, first and foremost, canning. You have water bath canning, you have pressure canning. So with water bath canning, preserving high acid foods like fruit and tomatoes, you can water bath can. And preserving pressure canning, you safely canning low acid foods such as vegetables, meats, and soups. So if you were in the Patreon, you would know that last night I made chicken. What's the chicken with the white sauce, guys? What's the white creamy sauce? No pun intended. What is that called? It's not chicken marsala. It's something else. And you serve it over a bed of noodles. And I can't remember. I just call it white sauce when I buy it. Alfredo. There you go. Boom. Chicken Alfredo. I made chicken Alfredo last night, guys. And the chicken that I used, I canned a year and a half ago. Not a joke. It was the very first thing I ever canned. And then for the noodles, those were vacuum sealed, and so they were good to go. And then because I'll just take them right and put in the package and put them in a vacuum seal bag and suck all the air right out of it. Anyway, and then for dessert, we had, I don't know if you guys remember, the old Patreons remember, we had a canning live stream where we live streamed an hour and a half, 2 hours of us just peeling, where we're just chewing the fat and peeling apples. I was canning apples, and other people were canning other things, but we did it live on the Discord. And what was it? Those were my canned apples from 2022. Oh my God. And they were delicious, absolutely delicious. They didn't fall apart, anything. So it's kind of reignited my, I want to go can some stuff. Let's see here. West Virginia Pappy seen a recipe for Alfredo with Italian seasoning added. I love Alfredo. Looks like everybody loves Alfredo. My God. I mean, hey, if you like Alfredo, type Alfredo in the chat. But yes, thank you guys. I appreciate that. Let's see here. But yeah, it's kind of reinvigorated my desire to go can some stuff. All right, so the next thing on that is dehydrating techniques and storage. So with dehydrating techniques, you're going to use dehydrators or solar methods for preserving fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Storage, properly storing dehydrated foods to maintain quality and longevity. Please remember, guys, that dehydration or dehydrating food is not the same as freeze drying food. There is still a significant amount of oil in those foods that can turn rancid. So they're only good for probably, I would say, if they stored correctly, maybe 6 months. Okay. I don't really like pushing dehydrated fruits any further than they need to go. Andy says older flaya. I got you, bro. Let's see here. And then obviously fermentation, basic methods, basics, or learning the basics of fermentations, how to make sauerkraut, kimchi, yogurt, and other fundamental fermented foods. These things basically take care of themselves. Obviously the benefits and understanding the nutritional and preservational benefits of fermentation. Fermentation is actually really, really good. The fermented food is really, really good for gut health, which is great in a survival situation. Let's see here. And then obviously freezing, the proper techniques, blanching vegetables, packing foods, avoiding the almighty freezer burn, and then with freezing, energy efficient, managing the freezer use during power outages and shortages, things like that. Let's see here. West Virginia Pappy says, where are we at here? Ooh, there we go. Does anyone salt cure anymore? West Virginia Pappy, I've always wanted to get like some kind of roast, some big piece of meat, like something I can chop into steaks and salt cure that steak and just let it, just like age that meat. You know what I'm saying? Like make it my dirty little, you know what I'm talking about? Just age that meat, and then slice it up. Oh yeah. And then cook it. Oh my God. All right. Let's see here. Only salt cure I do is deer, beef jerky or deer jerky and bacon, salt cure and sample. Gotcha, Jordan. And smoke. Boy, you're just having a hell of a time with the auto spell today, aren't you, Jordan? By the way, it's good to see you. I haven't talked to you in a while. All right, let's see here. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna see how many people are still sitting over at there are still 10 people on Rumble that are waiting. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to make like a Rumble video, like, I'm sorry, but you really need to pay attention or something like that, Okay, so the next section is going to be, believe it or not, it's not going to be applicable to everybody because these skills, are about becoming independent from the system, and that requires us to do certain things that we wouldn't normally do. And let's see, West Virginia Pappy's on X as well. Man, you are just a man. Rose says salt cure so good, but long time soaking to get the meat ready. Let's see. Hicktown Honey says they probably just haven't closed out the app. I'm sure they're here. I hope so. I really hate to leave people hanging, where are we at here? Bob says, okay, back, signal issue on my end. Gotcha, Bob. Good to know. Okay, so livestock management. This sounds broad, but it's really not. So poultry, raising chickens, the basics of chicken care, egg production, and meat harvesting. What happens when one of your chickens get a little stopped up? What's going to happen? I've gone through my share of birds in the past because I didn't know what I was doing, and sometimes it's pretty interesting to know that even though these plants can or these pets can feed you, that they have medical needs as well from time to time. Other birds, raising ducks, quail, turkey for eggs and meat. If you guys are huge into, I used to have ducks, and the one thing I learned about ducks was duck eggs are delicious, but they are I would say, of the protein sources, they are the superfood of the world. There's so many nutrients that are inside of a duck egg. It's unbelievable, but they will also give you a freaking coronary if you eat them too much, because they are loaded with, I believe it's cholesterol. But you know, if you were big into baking, though, duck eggs are the magic. Whatever it calls for, use, if it says 2 eggs, use 2 duck eggs. Boom, it's going to be pretty freaking awesome. Let's see here. Bradley says, where are we at here? Bradley says, meat rabbits seem interesting to me, but I feel like chickens are easier. But I've been wrong before. Bradley, yes, I am. If I ever go back to the old property, which seems very possible, I am going to start doing meat rabbits. I'll probably do chickens, but I'm also going to start doing meat rabbits. And the reason I'm going to do that is because, well, rabbit just tastes like wild chicken. That's all it tastes like. It's really, really good. And spices can fix almost anything if you don't like the flavor. But it's a self-perpetuating food source. So if you have the ability to raise meat rabbits, I recommend you do it, mate, because the worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to make more than you really want, and you're going to feed them for some months, and then you're going to put them in your freezer. I mean, there's not a lot to this, man. There's not a lot to this. Ducks are better. Ducks were great for eggs, but they're just nasty. They're nasty creatures, guys. If you didn't know that, they are just, because their oil secretes a specific, or their skin secretes an oil that waterproofs them and insulates their bodies. They are delicious. They are delicious. But they're just nasty creatures. There's a lot of upkeep on ducks. Jordan says goats are so versatile. They give you milk, mow your grass, and then give you meat. Yeah, I've never eaten goat before, and I'm not a fan of milk. And the whole mow your lawn thing, I've had goats, and the only thing they ever did was eat the armrests off my $7,000 lawnmower. I'm not disagreeing with you, Jordan. Jordan's a wealth of knowledge. She's a smart lady, but I've just not had good experience with them. Rose says, my grandma was great at batching time. She could grab a bird and snap the next in a flash with one hand. There you go. What is up with Autospell today? It's messing with everybody, man. Let's see here. Look at a video on meat rabbit math. Okay, I'll do that. But I mean, it's like, so are you trying to tell me that it's not smart, that I'm not going to get as much meat out of it as you think I am? Is that what you're trying to say, Andy? Let me know in the chat. I'm very curious, because like I said, I'm going to do it. If I get the opportunity, I'm going to do it. Let's see here. We're going to turn that off, and there we go. And all right, so next thing is small livestock, which is what you guys alluded to. Goats, sheep. You have to care for, you have to learn how to care for them, milk them, and meat production. With rabbits, they're efficient meat production with a small space and requirements. And then we can roll on to beekeeping, some beekeeping basics that you need to know, set up and maintaining hives, harvesting the honey and beeswax, pollination, understand the role of the bees in the garden and crop pollination. You have to understand all these things if you really want to do that. Let's see here. What about the quail? They multiply fairly. I don't know. But here's the thing. I'm not into, and this is just me. As I understand it, quail is delicious, but I'm not into like these little bitty things that don't produce that much meat for the amount of work that you have to do. I mean, I don't understand enough about them, to be honest with you. But it just doesn't seem to me like the juice is worth the squeeze. Let's see here. No, it gives lots of meat, Andy says. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it doesn't make sense that these things can reproduce, and they're basically chickens that bounce, so I believe it. I'm putting that up there, Bradley. Autocorrect has been my nemesis since I got this dang iPhone. Dang iPhone. iPhones are the devil. This is an Android. All right, let's see here. Jordan says, Quail costs too much time for the money and effort. I got you. Let's see here. West Virginia Pappy says, B-Man, or also known as B-Man J, will be at Prep Stock. Laugh out loud. Thank you for the self-promotion, West Virginia Pappy. I appreciate it. Yeah, he's definitely going to be there. He's going to be talking to us about a few things other than bee stuff. But it will also be given a class on the ins and outs of having bees on your property is what we'll say. Also, guys, if you have not done it yet, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button for me. It does help. It helps with the algorithms of algorithms. It says, well, yeah, there we go. Okay. Says there's 25 of you in here and we've only got 17 thumbs up. So please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. And if you have not subscribed, now you should have a good idea of what I talk about. And hit that subscribe button, guys. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified. That makes me wonder. That makes me ask, guys, did you guys? So I was able to set this whole thing up and launch it out to the interwebs last night. So did anybody not get a notification? Because I'm curious about that, because I'm doing it. YouTube has certain recommendations. They say no less than 2 hours to make sure people get the notifications out. And I'm very curious because, yeah, I did it last night and you guys should have all got notifications. What's up, Tuck? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. All right, let's see here. And while I'm finding that out, matter of fact, hey, put a 1 in the chat if you did not get, no, put a 1 in the chat if you got a notification. I see Jordan said she did. All right. So while you guys are doing that, while you guys are frantically giving yourself carpal tunnel with the 1, I got it about 30 minutes prior. Wow, that's weird. Okay. Let's see here. So the next thing, kind of near and dear to my heart because it's a skill that I want to have, but I just don't have time for it, and it's not something. It's like something you really have to get into, otherwise you could like end up taking a dirt nap, foraging and wild crafting. So first one is obviously edible plants. And the number one thing is identification, learning to identify edible wild plants in your area. Every place has a different species of plant that's edible and not edible. It's that easy. There's really nothing in the middle. Harvesting and preparation techniques for safely harvesting and preparing wild foods. Some wild plant or some plants, it's like you can only eat the bud, or you can't eat the stem, or you know what I'm saying, or don't touch the roots, things like that. So it's interesting to know how to do all of those things. Hey, Big Prepper, good to see you, bro. Hola, ¿qué tal? Let's see here. Where are we at here? Where are we at? Medicinal herbs identification, recognizing and using wild herbs for medicinal purposes. Like we were talking about, medicinal herbs, guys, Red's Remedies. Let's see here. Preparation, making tinctures, salves, and teas from wild herbs. And then also you've got hunting and fishing, knowing the basic skills of hunting and fishing, to create sustainable meat sources. I don't really, I'm not an avid hunter. I know how to hunt, and I'm not an avid fisher, but I know how to fish. And then obviously processing, the techniques for butchering and preserving wild game and fish. If you guys didn't know this, one of the things that's available to the Patreons is access to the digital preparedness library. And within that, I actually have videos on how to actually cut up your own deer, not field dress it and get it out of the woods. I'm talking about like how to butcher it properly. And then I recommend that you might want to take a look at that. All right, let's see here. Let's go ahead and check the chat. We're getting ready to move on to the next section. What do we got here? Let's see here. Andy says quail start laying at 6 or 8 weeks. Wow, that's fast. Or you can dispatch and send to freezer. Oh, you can just put them in freezer. Okay. Quail lay about 300 eggs a year. Videos on quail math too. I got you, bro. Trapping, snaring is viable in my area. For foraging is not. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about, Tuck. You have to know your area before you actually start to venture out on these skills. And it's like it's great to know that the Ugandan devil plant is really good for you and healthy, but it only grows in Uruguay. It won't grow anywhere else in the world. It's like, hey, nice fact, nice fact check, but you're useless to me. So, but yeah, Tuck, you definitely have to know your area, and I'm glad you do. Evelyn just got into the live. Hey, good to see you, Evelyn. Good to see you. I don't recognize your name, but make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Some have evil lookalike. Yes. Some have an evil lookalike. What was it? There's a what is it? I learned this 2 days ago. The grapevine, which you can get water out of, looks exactly like a poison ivy vine. The difference is that the poison ivy vines have hair on them. So if it's hairy, stay away from it. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Big Prepper says it's worth investing in a botany book. They tell you about everything. You can find it in the wild, how to prepare and use it. Very useful and detailed. Yes, hard back books, or should I say a hard copy book is always great. The only thing is that really gets me is so it's, unless it's for your area, 90% of what's in the book is useless to you. And that's one of the reasons I don't have it. One of the reasons I don't have those things. But that other 10%, color photos of what it looks like when it's just sprouted, what it looks like when it's fully grown, what its fruit looks like, what it looks like during the winter, summer, spring, and fall. You know what I'm saying? Because the look of plants change during the seasons. That's what I'd be looking for. But yes, that always having that reference is a great idea, Big Prepper. Where we at here? Brad says, isn't there a guy on YouTube who claims to be an urban forager? He shows the plants that are edible and he walks around. Yeah, I've seen that guy. He looks like he lives in his van. Actually, he looks like a hobo. But yes, there is an urban like botanist guy who does it. See that over there? That looks like a weed. That's because that is, and it's delicious. He does. Yes. Where we got false morals and morals are different, but close enough to ruin someone's weekend. That is for sure. That's why I don't dabble in it, man. I don't dabble in it. I just don't want to die. Let's see here. Tuck says, Bradley Collins, I can do that and have, but the limitations are extreme. I got you, bro. I got you. All right. Generally, poison and restorative are near each other. That's very true. That's absolutely true. Okay, so we need to move on to, man, I got a lot of stuff to cover here in a short time to do it. All right, so next thing is DIY projects and repairs, basic carpentry, tools and techniques. Use hand and power tools, building structures and repairs. Also projects, building raised garden beds, shelves, and simple furniture. These are all the basic things you need to be knowing how to do to survive or to be independent. Plumbing. A lot of people don't do this. Emergency repairs, fix leaks, clogs, and maintaining plumbing systems. Also, water systems, setting up rainwater collection and gray water systems. And then there's electrical skills, basic wiring, understanding home electrical systems for minor repairs. What's the black wire? Solar power, installing and maintaining small solar power systems. And this goes hand in hand to what we talked about yesterday. Fabricating and blacksmithing, guys. This is something we just don't do anymore. Metal work, basic welding and metal work for tool repairs and fabrications. I want a welder so bad. Blacksmithing, making and repairing tools and hardware. I would love to learn how to be a blacksmith, but for lack of better words, I don't think I could take the heat. All right, let's see here. Going to the chat. Generally poison. Oh, there we go. West Virginia Pappy. I spent the summer taking a building construction class. I love it, man. I love it. All right, so moving on. This is going to be. Whoop! Someone just said something. Where are we at here? Was a single mom, but raised the bots to know what they could or didn't, shouldn't, or leave for better trained. Gotcha. West Virginia Pappy says welded for 20 years. There we go. People got skills. It's good to hear. All right. So next thing is homemade and household products. Believe it or not, you got to be able to keep things clean. And sometimes we just don't know. Cleaning supplies, natural recipes for making homemade cleaning agents using vinegar, baking soda, and essential oils, and efficiency using homemade solution effectively for various cleaning tasks. Also, personal care products, something a lot of people we don't do anymore. Soap making, creating natural soaps and shampoos. If you make your own soap, put a 1 in the chat. Other products, making toothpaste, deodorants, and lotions. Toothpaste is easy. The deodorants, I'm not sure about. Lotions, that's kind of, I don't know about the lotions thingy. Let's see here. Textile skills. This one's kind of broken down a little bit more in detail than the others because there's a lot of stuff to make. When we start about textile, we're actually like putting things together. Textile normally talks about manufacturing of items to be used in other implementations. So sewing and mending, basic sewing, using a sewing machine and hand stitching techniques for clothing repairs. Also advanced projects like making clothes, quilts, and other fabric items. I remember growing up, my mother sewed and she sewed a lot of her own clothes. And I mean, like literally made clothes. And a lot of people have kind of forgotten about the fact that you can actually buy like these little packages with templates for shirts and skirts and pants and like it basically, it teaches you how to do it. You just cut the fabric and you start stitching. All right, knitting and crocheting basics, creating garments and useful items like blankets and hats. Yeah, blankets keep you warm. Advanced techniques, designing patterns and complex projects. Obviously we're talking about patchwork. Where we at here? And then there is leather work, leathercraft basics, making and repairing leather goods such as belts, bags, and shoes. Oddly enough, I don't think I've ever been to a swap meet or flea market where there was not a leather shop or you could not buy leather leather making tools right there for like nothing. I'm pretty sure they sell on Amazon for almost nothing. All right, so let's go ahead and check the chat here. Looks like Jordan does make her own soap. Let's see here. Tuck says, this is why I really want to be able to make vinegar and grain alcohol cleaning. Yeah, and we know what you're trying to clean out, bro. Let's see here. Oh, that's unique. Bradley says, make your own butter. Does that count? Yeah, but I don't know if we've talked about that just yet. That might be in here someplace, but we did talk about some food stuff. Yeah, I love making butter. The only thing I don't like about making butter is that the butter that most of us make will not stay on the counter very long because you have to get all of the water out of butter. What a lot of people don't know is that during that chilling process and when you're culling the moisture out of the butter, you really have to get that butter in a press to get the water out of it. Because if you don't, your butter will mold. So yeah. All right, let's see here. Rose says, I am a spinner weaver, can make felt, not needle felt, have treadle, sewing machine, knit, and crochet since at least 6 years old. Wow. That's exceptional skill, Rose. That's exceptional skill, Rose. Hicktown Honey says, Mom makes soap. I love it. Viking Queen says, that's my downfall. If I had to make my own clothes for myself and my family, I'd be a nudist colony here. No. Because in the end, just take a big piece of cloth and make a toga and you'll be okay. Let's see. Jordan says stained glass turns into welding. Sewing and crochet can be gifts while harnessing your practice. Well, that's interesting. Okay, let's see here. We're going to go ahead and move on to resource management. Believe it or not, this is actually a pretty interesting segment. And if you guys know, you know what I need to do, guys, I have not done it yet. I made sure I told all of our sponsors that we would throw something in the video with them from time to time. Guys, I want to talk to you about briefly about Grumpy Acres Farms. Grumpy, I'm not going to say his real name. I know his real name. I've talked to him. And these guys make some awesome freeze-dried food, and it's actually reasonably priced. So I want you guys to go on over there and get some of the premium freeze-dried food from grumpyacresfarm.com. Guys, go on over there. There's no code. There's no nothing. And buy his stuff because one, he's a sponsor for Prep Stock. Two, he's a friend of mine. Three, I know his products are awesome. And four, he has freeze-dried Skittles that I have not tasted yet. I haven't tasted them yet. The running joke is he sent me a box full of this food, right? And he added some freeze-dried Skittles, but he only put one bag in there. And then he's like, I don't know if at Prep Stock whether you ate those freeze-dried Skittles or not. And I was like, no, I'm going to give them away, man. So they're kind of like that thing that's setting over there. All I've heard is unbelievably good stuff about all of his freeze-dried foods, but his Skittles are top notch. So yeah. All right, guys, we did that. And let's see here. Let's go on to template 2. Bachoon, just like that. All right. So I need to go back to the comments. There we got, I can definitely, so easy to do. I hear you. I'm going to focus on repairs and go from there. All right. So where are we at here? Big Prepper says, I raise goats for meat and butter. It's arguably better than beef products. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you know, honestly, I probably need to try some goat. I need to figure out where I can try some goat because that's the one thing I've never eaten. I've eaten cats. I've eaten dogs. I've eaten horses. I've eaten monkeys. I've eaten some squirrel. I've eaten some stuff you guys never heard of. But I don't think I've ever had goat meat before. So, I mean, if it's delicious, then it could be a thing. It could be a thing. Let's see here. Can you freeze dry butter for storage? I have heard of freeze dried butter, but here's the thing. You can't, I don't see how the dehydration or the rehydration process would work. Big Pepper says, just go to Arby's and get a Greek gyro. That is not goat meat. You're not fooling anybody, Big Prepper. Let's see here. Tuck says, I've had goat a couple of times and goat milk and cheese. I like it all. Yeah, I mean, I think what I need to do is I just need to dedicate a little bit of time into like trying goat cheese. I mean, this just does not. I'm an advocate for trying anything new, but it's like maybe this is something I need to move towards because I feel like you guys are making me feel like I'm missing out on it. So. All right, so let's get back on point here. Resource management, waste reduction, composting, creating compost for chicken scraps and yard waste. Guys, composting, I was huge when I wasn't living here in the city on composting. I had my own compost pile and machine, and that stuff went into the garden every year. Also, yeah, the chicken stuff. As long as you've got a solid bin where nothing else can get in there when it smells it, throwing out those scraps to the chickens, hella good. Recycling, efficiently storing and managing recyclable materials. You know, it's all fun and games until the trash guy doesn't come. Then what? In the country, we just burn it. But energy efficiency, reducing consumption, techniques for conserving energy in the home. Alternative heating using wood stoves, pellet stoves, and other methods. And then we have water conservation. Effective use, reducing water usage through gray water systems and conservation practices. For instance, gray water is it could be the water from your sink that you're saving in a bucket to flush your toilet. It could be that simple. All right, what do we got here? Checking. Used to drink goat milk. Dad raised them. Tell Jester to make you a gyro. Tell Jester to make you a. That's hilarious, man. The Greek gyro is made with lamb meat. Where are we at here? It's close enough. Well, I love lamb. Where are we at here? Check Mexican restaurant menus for cabrito. Try it. That's good. So are you telling So are you telling me that cabrito, I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right, is goat meat? Is that what you're saying? Because I don't want no faux stuff. I want the real thing, man. All right, so survival skills, fire starting, guys. You know, we take this for granted until we can't start a fire. And we have so many techniques and props now that actually assist us in starting fires, you know, that we kind of take it for granted, you know. Where are we at here? I'm trying to find something right here. And speaking of fires, guys, Pro Camp Tech. Best fire starter on the planet. Not a joke. I will be giving away at Prep Stock. If you guys want to buy some, you can actually use code Prep Stock to save 15% off your orders. There's a link in the description. Go there. I'm not joking. The time for these kind of products is now because this is the camping season. And it's the products that they make are pretty amazing because it's like not just, I don't know. I think that they're catering to the likes of certain people. Some people like a stick. Some people like a tape. Some people like a powder. And I think there's even a fourth one. I can't remember, but I got a whole box of this stuff that we're going to be giving away at Prep Stock. All right, guys. So now that shameless promotion is over with. Anyway, fire starting techniques, also fire maintenance, keeping a fire going for warmth and cooking. One of the biggest problems people have with fires is they can't keep the damn thing going. Let's see here. And also, if you guys didn't know this, that you boil on flames and you cook on coals. Take that to the bank. The cat is chewing something. Okay. I thought maybe he was chewing on one of my wires. I was about to beat his ass. Anyway, beep. Shelter building, basic shelters, constructing emergency shelters from natural materials, and long-term shelters, building more permanent structures if necessary. Then we have tool use, basic tools using knives, axes, and saws effectively for survival tasks, and maintenance, sharpening, and caring for tools to ensure longevity, which always kind of blew my mind because a lot of people have axes and hatchets, but they don't have a sharpening stone for an axe or hatchet. It always kind of blew my mind. It's like you really want this thing to work, right? You probably need to have these tools. Where are we at here? Andy says promise. Let's see here. Let's see here. What are we doing? Go to a legitimate butcher. If they don't have it, they can get goat. I see. So I need to find a real butcher. I need to find a real butcher and like make some food myself. I gotcha. Great in a stew. Pretty much any meat is great in a stew. That's the thing about stews. You can just throw it all together and it tastes the same. Let's see here. If in a long-term location, have a cast iron ember pot to keep coals for starting of. Wow, that is a great idea because I have a cast iron, it's an older cast iron. It's a pot basically. It's got a lid. What do they call it? What are those pots that freaking they have the legs on them? You like cook in the fire. You like put it in the fire. I have one of those that I never use. It's all rusted out too. So that's an idea. Let's see. Or a good file for nicks and the edges. Yeah, a good file for nicks. Having a good file. The Dutch oven. Thank you, Tuck and West Virginia Pappy. Yeah, I actually have one of those. I had planned on doing a video on how to remove the rust from one, as well as how to what's the word I'm looking for? Put the finish back on it. What is the word I'm looking for putting the finish back on cast iron? You do it in the oven with oil and heat. Anyway, so while they're typing that, where are we at here? 10, mental and emotional reason. Thank you, Cool Colt. Season. Thank you. I don't know why my brain pill's not kicking in today. I thought re-season that too. Season. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. You guys are on the spot today. I'm really liking what I'm seeing today. You guys are awesome. Let's see here. So this one's kind of serious, but it's also part of being self-sufficient, and that is your mental and emotional resilience. Sometime back, I talked a lot about this stuff, but it's not really for the YouTubes. It's more for self-reflection, having a personal conversation with somebody, things like that, because it just doesn't sell well here on YouTube. But anyway, we're going to talk about it anyway because it is essential for self-sufficiency. One, having problem solving skills. A lot of people are not critical thinkers. They don't develop the ability to think critically in stressful situations. And they also adaptability, learning to adapt plans and strategies as circumstances change. You guys have heard me talk about several times about the German battle plan. It was, they called it the 80% solution because they knew things were going to fall apart the second they stepped off the line of departure. Let's see here. And then stress management techniques, using mindfulness, meditation, and other techniques to manage stress. Mindfulness is what I use the most because it makes me realize things are not as bad as they could be. You woke up breathing. You woke up with the ability to drive a car and your legs still work. So it's going to be a pretty good day. But anyway, mindfulness, meditation, and other techniques to manage stress, community support, building a support network for emotional resilience. I honestly believe that what we have in the Discord, if you guys aren't in the free Discord, get your ass in there. If you're a Patreon and you're not inside the members only Discord, you need to message me somehow, and so I can get you in there because we do a lot of stuff. Specifically the members only Patreon, we talk to each other every single day. So it's almost like having a neighbor that you can like go and just have a conversation with, or just like, hey, this happened today. It's not great. Last week we had one of our members that had their husband that was in the hospital to get some surgery. We had no idea until they told us. And then at that point it was like lots of hugs and kisses. Make sure you keep us updated. Is there anything we can do? And it's actually a real thing. Like people send each other stuff, people meet with each other, people show up. You know what I'm saying? So having that community support, and building that support network for emotional resilience is actually very, very important. Let's see here. Coffee time, friend. It's coffee time. Let's see. Electrolysis to remove rust. Yes, I have seen that. I think it's a great idea. But I mean, is it the most practical idea? That's the thing, because you have to put that thing away for you have to do it 2 or 3 times, I think. Let's see. Any day above ground is a good day. Yes, West Virginia Pappy. Any day above ground is a good day. All right. So we're going to go ahead and conclude this. But guys, if there's anything you want to throw in the chat here at the last minute, we'll talk about it. So I'm not in a rush, but we'll talk about it. So now's the time to put it there while I do my conclusion. So in conclusion, developing self-sufficiency skills empowers preppers to handle a variety of situations independently. That means by yourself. Whether through growing food, preserving supplies, managing livestock, or making essential items, these skills are crucial for long-term preparedness and stability. Guys, I can't emphasize enough. Being a prepper doesn't mean you got to go it alone, but it does mean that you need to be prepared to go it alone. All right, so I'm looking in the chat. I'm not seeing anything happening right here. Let's see here. Ian says, I can use baking soda and lemon juice to remove rust. Yes, I've seen people do it with Coca-Cola. Let's see here. Big Prepper says, at some point, preppers should start finding their community. If you don't have one locally, the possibility of pooling resources and purchasing land isn't out of the question. Yeah. That is a great idea. But I will caution you, because there are situations where you have a falling out with the person that you thought was going to be your partner, or there are some changes in that partner's life where they can no longer, or they're out of money and they want to sell their piece or their part or whatever it may be. There are some real issues with that. They're not all bad. They're not all bad, but I'm saying that's a cautionary tale is what I'm trying to tell you. Let's see here. May have to replace another skilled worker at some point. That's true. That's absolutely true. So, and then also, there's the whole thing with, bartering skills. So if you're an independent operator and you have lots of skills, people are going to want you. They're going to want to keep you around. You know, when they become cannibals, you'll be the last one they want to eat. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, guys, I think that's going to be about it right now. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button on your way out the door. If you're new to the channel, you've probably seen what is happening. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the little notification bell on there. Otherwise, it won't tell you. If you want to support the channel, there are links below. Spend your money the way you see fit. But they're all good deals, every one of them. And let's see here. I think that's going to be about it, man. Stay safe. Have a great day. And I'll see you when I see you, which will be tomorrow. And Patreons, don't forget, live Patreon only Discord Thursday, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Also, for those of you that are in the whole Discord, I have an event set up to have it. I don't even know what it's called. It's something new on Discord where you can create these events. And we're going to be talking about, we're going to be doing the event while the debate is going on Thursday night, 9 p.m. I have no idea how it's going to work out, but that's what we're going to do. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye.